Hello, my name is Jay, and today we are on the Aviant channel for a programming tutorial. I'm going to walk you through the first couple steps of creating your own Discord bot and getting a couple commands working. So in this video we're going to be using C#, but all of the other videos work just fine, and if you're unfamiliar with C#, that's also fine as well. I'll walk you through some of the basics, and then I'll also probably have to end up making a separate tutorial, just kind of introduce you to that. Why do I like C#? Well, it's actually what I learned in school, and so I just am more familiar with it, but there's nothing wrong with all the different languages. You can use whatever. So in this video, we're going to be using, or getting started with creating your own Discord bot, and let's just jump right into it. So basically, Discord itself has the Discord bot, what you're familiar with. It is the profile that talks back to you, I guess, when you type in commands. And so in today's video, we're going to go through and create a new one of those. So in order to do that, you have to go to a place called Discord's Developer Portal. And I'm going to close out of these windows up here. But you have to go to Discord's Developer Portal. And once you get in there, you click on Applications, and you'll have this lovely little window here. So you want to do is create a new application. So the name of this application is, I don't know. Well, what can we go for that's pretty spicy? Spicy Bot. We're going to call it Spicy Bot. Okay. So Spicy Bot. So you can also hit different options here. So if you're unfamiliar, I own a couple large Discord bots, and people know all about them. So my goal for this is, if you want to watch any of these tutorials, I may not be the best at explaining things. I'm going to try really hard, but I at least have a lot of actual experience with bot development. So you create your own Spicy Bot. So once you create your Spicy Bot, you're going to get yourself an option to do a nice icon, all this important information here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the bot section, and then you're going to want to click on add a bot. Now I'm trying to get you guys through this as quick as possible, because this is not somewhere you need to spend a lot of time on. So you're going to get a bot. A wild bot has appeared, and basically all you got to do is you just got to kind of click to reveal this token and copy it. Now we'll use that in a sec, but just know where that is. Now, Visual Studio is the primary language or primary IDE that you use to code C#. You can use others. I just prefer it. It is free if you get the community version. So if you do have to log in, but once you log in, it's free and it's unlimited, so it's not really a problem there. So basically, you just want to install Visual Studio, and that's what we'll be using to do our programming tutorial today. So once you get into the Visual Studio, you just basically want to go through and click on Create a New Project, and then you click on a console app C#, and then I choose the .NET Core. If you don't see this, you can scroll down and click on Install More Tools and Features, and just make sure you install the C# development package. It's about 2.5–3 gigabytes, and then you're good to go there. So once you're good to go, let's do this Spicy Bot. And so this is our Spicy Bot, and we're just going to create this. So we just created a console application, and then what is a console application? A console application looks like this, a console. It's pretty boring, but the reason why we do this is because you really don't need to code in all that complexity or all the user input to a Forms application which has a bunch of buttons, because you're going to do all that input through Discord, and we don't want to have a bunch of random stuff that you have to manually go in. So let's get started with just coding our Discord bot. So first off, we're going to start adding some code. Now, for the purpose of this video right now, the code that I'm just going to add is going to be copied in the description. It's easier and it's better to understand it if you just think of it like code you just need to put in for it to work. Now, in the later videos, I'll walk you through exactly what most of this means, but my goal is to pretty much get you to a point where you can add commands, type in and code your commands, and not have to worry about all the complexity that goes in with, just setting up and configuring the client that connects to Discord through the library. So yes, I can walk you through, and we will walk you through the complexity of what exactly we're doing, but asynchronous methods and all that stuff that I'm adding here, that you just probably should just copy and paste, so that pretty much this is the same for all Discord.NET bots. This is not something that's really concerning at the moment. Later on it might be if you get a large Discord bot, but for now let me go through and just kind of show you what you need to add. So the first up thing is, instead of this public static void main, you just kind of need to add this as well. This just creates a new program, or defines a new method that is asynchronous, so that it allows you it's a new method. Just think of it like that. It's a new box that we're throwing stuff in. So once you've done that, you've got yourself a task, and you're probably going to see this little arrow down here. You can say click on using system.threading tasks, because that is also what you're doing. So before we get too far along with just creating our base Discord client, let's go through and just go and get to NuGet packages, which are basically right here. You basically right click on this and say manage NuGet packages, and what this will allow you to do is this will allow you to browse Discord, and not in caps, discord.net, and this is the the library API wrapper that we're going to be using. So you just click on this, accept it, and you've got all these things that hopefully should start going away. So you've basically installed the package, and now I can start adding more code into here. So then you're of course going to want to probably do discord.net allow discord. WebSocket, and then that should alleviate some of these issues. So now we are ready to start turning on our bot and getting going. So first thing is you need to allow your bot, or get your bot configured with the token. So if we remember, we talked about that weird, crazy, thing in the developer portal that you might need. So that thing is actually called the token, and it serves as your password and username. So anyone that has that bit of information that sends it off to Discord can log in as your bot, and there's a lot of things that they can do that is just a lot of things that you don't want to deal with, and just a mess that can be created if someone has that. So what we're going to do is we are going to get a token and transfer over a token. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically just copy this over here, and what this does is you're going to need to add a system.io. Usually if you get these errors at the beginning, that usually means you can just click on them, and for the sake of this video, usually means that you can just click on them unless they're undefined, but for now we'll just say that. So what this is going to do is just going to take your token from a separate file and put it into this variable, which will then be sent off to Discord and allow you to log in, and not that. So this file you also need to create, so you can just go to your open file explorer path, go to bin debug, and then you can create new text document, which you want to call this token.txt, and then you want to basically just copy and paste your token from the Discord developer portal in here. So once you have your file set up and your file created, your token pasted, you can then turn on your bot for the first time. Now this is, as I said, all code we don't need to worry about right now in this video. We can go over in depth, but for discord.net you get this kind of information that pops up here. So there you go, you have a Discord bot that's on. Now let's add it to your server. So let's invite your bot to a server now. So basically all I did here was you go to your general information in your bot, click on this, and copy and paste this client ID. Then I'm going to include a link in the description. Basically all you do is you just kind of paste this in there, and there you go, you're ready to get started on adding your bot. So let's get started. Click on this, and you're used in 0 servers, and SpicyBot is not particularly popular at the moment, but we click on double or AAA, that's what the server we're going to use. I don't know, quadruple A, quintuple, I have no idea. And you bought on authorized, and all this does is it gives you basically allowing it to come on the server with the certain permissions, which we'll talk about permissions in a later video as well. And as you can see, SpicyBot joined the server, and it doesn't have any roles or anything like that. So now when you go to your Visual Studio and you click on run, and it will load up, and then once it says ready, you can go over to your Discord, and as you can see, SpicyBot is online. So right now nothing is going to happen, or nothing is going to get done, so we need to add some things to make this run a little bit better. So voila, we have our bot, it's on. Let's go through and add ourselves the ability to respond to some commands. So first up, we want to start by adding some events. Events are things that basically, like when an action happens, like say someone sends a message, someone reacts to a message, someone joins a server, someone leaves a server, all that kind of stuff. We want to go through and kind of do something about it. So you want to see message received is what you're looking for. So client.message received, and then you want to add something to it or tack on something to it that will fire or run through when that event happens. So next up, we want to create a method. Now this method is going to be our command handler. We'll call this the command handler. And this command handler is going to basically fire and take the input that we get from that message, that some message is sent on Discord somewhere that the server's on, or that the bot is on, and we are going to digest that and basically turn that into either sending it back or doing something with it and then returning the information that we find or we deem with that. So next up, I'm just going to add the command handler to this as well, and this is not going to like this, I'm sure. So we need the socket message. So you want to have socket message, and this is the message that comes in. And then there you go. So now we have, whenever we get a new message or some text that's sent somewhere on Discord, you can go through and you'll be fine. So now the socket message is basically, think of it like this little variable here is your message in all sense of it. So when you do message, and you can get all the different bits of information about it. For example, if you want to know what channel it was in, if you want to know like what was actually said, who said it, all that stuff. So to start off, keep in mind that right now this will fire anytime someone sends any message. So what you want to keep in mind is you want to start, especially when you get into large Discord bots, you don't want to spend a lot of time. You want to be able to rule commands out really quickly. Like if someone just sends hi in a server, you don't want to worry about responding or trying to figure out, responding to that, etc., unless you want that to be your command. So I think the best way to do this is to basically base it off of your command prefix. So for example, we're just going to do a simple if statement. If the message.content.starts with, and then so this is your prefix. Think of it like, I don't know, we'll do a prefix of, I'm trying to think of a good one. Let's just do an exclamation point for now. So if it starts, well, let's actually also add an exclamation point at the beginning, and basically what this exclamation point at the beginning says, if it is not. So for example, if this message is not, doesn't start with our chosen prefix, then we just want to return the completed task and move on. If it is, then we keep on going. Now think of it like at a per line basis, especially when you get into more complicated bots. If you're doing a lot of code programming down here and a lot of complex, pulling stuff from databases or trying to get information or waiting on stuff, you don't want to burden the rest of your bot with trying to, you don't want to run through all that logic if you don't need to. So what this does is it basically says, oh, we don't need the, if it doesn't start with an exclamation point, we don't worry about it. So next up, going down even farther, we want to go through and kind of start ruling out or filtering out kind of the messages that we want to even check if it's one of our commands. So for the most part, message.author here, you also want to make sure if message.author is bot, then you want to return as well. Now why is this? This is in case, like, if you can obviously turn this on if you want, but for example, if you wanted to go through and allow bots to do commands as well, like for example, you want to allow other bots to do commands. I have no idea why you would, but you usually don't want to do this because if someone makes a Discord bot, it's a lot easier for them to spam it, and there's a lot more. Yeah, that's actually fine according to Discord's rules. I mean, not necessarily, but you're not going to get in trouble with that. Self bots, on the other hand, are a bigger problem you have to worry about, especially when you get later on in the development cycle. So you have these two little bits of information here. Both of these kind of filter out your prefix, and this one goes through and kind of returns that if it's not what we want. So then we have all of that done now. Let's go through and see what we can do moving forward. So let's define our variables real quick, and I'm going to define the command as that for the moment. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to take our message here and pull out the command part. So we don't want the exclamation point. We just want to be able to figure out if that first message is whatever the first bit of text is. So down here, after we've done our math, or not our math, but the filtering out the command and stuff, let's go through and take command equals message.content.substring, And basically what this does is you're taking a section of the string or the text that you've received. Okay, so I needed to add a -1 back there. But this is pretty much all the logic you need now to kind of get started. So what this command is this is basically just our text that comes in there, so whatever you want to do. So let's start, let's create our first command. So we're going to move this down here a little bit, and we are going to set a couple spaces. If command dot equals, and then this is where you add wherever your text is. So what we've done is we've already removed the exclamation point, and we now just have command being just the command that you want to do. So for example, I'm going to do hello, and what this is going to do is this is going to let's see, author, let's see, message dot channel dot send message async, and what this is going to do is it's going to allow us to send some text in response. So I'm going to do another thing I like to do is do this little $@ which allows you to include bits of information in a string. It's a lot better than adding the pluses and the minus, at least in my personal preference. So basically we just want to do hello, and then let's do socket, let's see, message dot author dot mention, and that's basically what this is going to do is if the command equals hello, then we're able to get started, and it does this action here. So I'm going to also include a little comment up here, commands begin here, and then we're going to do filtering So basically all this does is this is your prefix. This removes all, ignores all commands from bots, and the rest of this is irrelevant. So now we're ready to get started. So we click on SpicyBot, we load the sucker up, we boot him up, we go over our Discord, and we say, so we remember we said hello is our command, so if we do hello, then we get hello, JSuckFault, and if you do cow, moose, dog, it doesn't worry about it. So you won't get a response there. So you have the basic first command, and you have yourself your own Discord bot. Let's do some more interesting things. So now we've sent our first message. Let's do some other things, some actually useful things. So let's do another one, else if. Else ifs are good because they allow you to stack on and reserve CPU usage, so you don't have to end up with massive overheads. So let's do command.author. Let's do this command if command dot equals, and if the command equals age, then it's going to look at the person's age that sent the command. So we'll just do message dot channel dot send message async, and then I'm just going to do let's do your account was created at. And then what that does is it just sends our sends the message and tells you when it was created at. So if we turn on the bot now, so now we turn on the stuff, we can just basically go age, and that will tell us. Here we go. Here's the first bit of programming bug that you're gonna forget. We also forgot to keep in mind we forgot this caps here. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but the cap is going to be what's going to not allow that command. So if I went back to the server now and I did the cap, then as you can see it's going to work just fine. So as you can see, it was created on 12/14/2015. So keep in mind your command here also has to reflect that. So you can solve this problem by doing something, tacking on a to lower on the bottom here, which basically converts everything to a lowercase format, and then that way you don't have to worry about that. So in this video we went through simple one-word commands and all the important parts about setting your bot up and getting it working. Now obviously you can add a profile picture, you can do all that stuff, but all we really did was just do one kind of word commands and responding back to those commands. In the next videos, hopefully we'll be going through how to add multiple commands. We'll probably do a little bit of restructuring, breaking it into pieces, and then converting each of the little pieces into your input fields. But for the most part, all you have right now in this video so far is just those little commands. So head over to the next video, if there is a next video, and we'll go through and talk about adding in fields. So basically like tagging somebody or putting in a number, or rolling a dice with a random number, who knows. So all of that stuff we can go over in the next video, so check over that, and I will include the links to all the code so far in the description. I'll start posting it to GitHub, and then you can start copy and paste everything you see here. If you want to start making your own commands, really all you have to change is this is the command here. This is basically just the lowercase form of any command in this command.equals. And then this message, send message async, is really whatever you want to send. So everything up to here, everything that's in the quotation marks here, is whatever you want to respond back. So you can just add brackets, and then basically think of it like you're getting details about the message. So the message has a lot of important details that you can get. So for example, you can get the ID, you can get all that stuff, source, timestamp, all that stuff. And then you can also go into author, which also has more information about it. So you can get the URL, the author's profile picture, all that stuff you can get. And you can even go in even farther. So that's all the information, and what this does is it just allows you to go through and include that information in your responses. So if you learned anything from this video or want to do anything from this video, just follow the steps at the beginning, and then just change your commands right here, and then these are your commands. Everything else will be posted, and honestly it'd probably be best just to copy and paste.